Hi, cities. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video, and I thought that I'd share it because this is really very important and very relatable. Not like what most Black people experience at work, especially working with. Now they were like, when a Black woman is quiet in the workplace, that it doesn't go well. I mean, like sometimes they call you. I mean, they said that you are not like, mixing up, that you are not being friendly. I mean, they say they like, they target so many things. Forgetting that, I mean, every day is not laughing day, every day is not smiling day, and all that. If I tell you that I am going to be smiling from morning till night, as because you are my co-worker, that is a lie. That thing doesn't happen, you're probably faking it. So the comment section also is very relatable, and people were also talking about their experiences, how they were laid off from job, probably because they come do their work and leave and all that. Also not trying to like, overwork. I mean, like just do their what they are assigned to do. But they feel like, they feel intimidated. Some feel like you have come to take away their job, or you have come to take away the what's it called, the organization. So some of them start should I say gatekeeping, or start like, being insecure. I think being insecure, and probably start looking for a way to let go of the Black woman. Let's get into this video.
What I want to know is why are people so concerned when a black woman is so quiet? Why we just can't be in our roles and our positions and have like a straight face? Why do you guys take our quietness as a concern? Like, do you understand that a lot of these black women that are high performative, we're quiet because we're not used to like really expressing ourselves. Like, our culture is mostly giving poker face. We are not buddy buddy and friends with anyone, barely even our family members. It's just like a handful of like our close girls that we're actually able to be very expressive. But outside of that, like, if there is no need for us to be smiling and to be forcing all these emotions when it comes to engaging, why do you guys need that? Like, we don't have to do that unless it requires us to. The work environment is really not that. We're really being paid to do our job. Why does it require us to also reward you guys with a smile while we're doing it? Are you guys paying us to smile? And I just want to ask y'all this. Was Massa paying us to smile in the field? Why the fuck would we want to do it now? Why, like, why do we got to put a smiley face when we got to be assertive? We're just trying to hold our heads down and do the best we can. Stop trying to expect us to coddle your feelings while we're doing it. We're already neurotic in being in this place. Please allow us to just create a safe space for ourselves to do our work. Don't ask us for nothing else. Don't ask us for nothing else. We're doing the best, okay? We're doing the best. We're doing the best. Jesus Christ. We're doing the best.
One thing for sure, and I was just talking to my coworker about this, is that in the workspace, Black women are only allowed to display two emotions. Two emotions are the only ones in which the vast majority of people recognize and will hold us to. You are either a uber happy and energetic Black woman, or you're an angry Black woman. So if you are not showing up to work with a smile on your face and volunteering and constantly speaking up in meetings and sharing your 2 cents, people think you're angry. People think that you are about to burn something down, when really you could just not have anything to say. You could just not be happy, but that doesn't make you mad or angry that day. And work becomes now even harder because now I'm constantly forced to monitor my facial expressions to ensure that I am not offending anyone or making someone else uncomfortable.
It seems like when you're the quiet Black girl or woman in the workplace, that you would think it would be peaceful and you would be under the radar, but unprovokingly, you trigger people who are bothered by your quietness. And like I said, it's even more of a struggle when you're a Black girl or woman in the work environment, especially in a corporate environment or any work environment. Because when we're quiet, It causes people to really feel the need to do research and study us and investigate. It triggers them to want to learn more about us and try to understand why are we so quiet. It seems as if we can't be quiet in peace because it comes off as if we're not a team player, or as if we're being passive or dismissive and we have a bad attitude because we're quiet. It's not looked at as we're just peaceful. It's not looked at as we're just very serious about our work and we just want to get in, do our jobs, and go home. It's not looked at as maybe we have social anxiety and we do better in more of a peaceful or solo setting. No, we can't be quiet in peace because it seems as though it sets us up for sabotage. Because we're quiet, it triggers people who feel rejected by us because we're not kissing up to them, or we're not trying to be friendly with them or make friends with them. We keep it professional, we keep it cordial. But like I said, it's not good enough for someone who feels rejected. Because if you're not trying to be their friend, if you're not kissing up to them, they feel as if you think you're better than them. As if you're on this high horse and their goal is to try to knock you off of it with sabotage. So they'll start nitpicking you, nitpicking your work, finding things to pick at you on, or setting you up for failure by not providing the resources, not providing the work tools or supplies that you need, not giving you information that you are supposed to be given to perform your job. Sabotage, 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 and scrutiny. Black women and Black girls can't be quiet in the work environment because when we're quiet, it's always misunderstood. When we're quiet, it's always looked at as negative. We deserve to be able to be in a work environment and do our jobs and go home. But the sad truth is, it triggers people when you're quiet because it makes their mind wonder, what are you thinking? Why are you so quiet? And who do you think you are?
Here's your daily reminder that being the good Black person at work will never serve you. I've been in corporate America for about 5 years now, and if there's anything that I learned, it's that overperforming and putting on a fake persona to get your foot into certain doors will only nail you to the cross later. And I'm not even gonna blame Black people who do this because we have learned that we have to code switch to get certain opportunities. But at a certain point, you realize it's like, oh my gosh, at what cost? Because let me tell you what happens. Once you get that job, you are going to be held to the standard of showing up as that person from the interview every damn day. And the moment that you don't, God help you. And I am saying this from firsthand experience that I am currently living. The best advice I've gotten to combat this whole phenomenon of like being held to the like really weird and unachievable standards of personality, manage their expectations from the beginning. And what that can look like is just letting your manager know that, hey, like if I ever look disinterested, that's me processing. It takes longer for me to process things sometimes. So just want to give you a heads up there. It's exhausting that we even have to do that. But as a Black woman, I know firsthand, God forbid that you are a laid back personality, because that will oftentimes be taken as disinterest or even anger. So yeah, keep their expectations on line with who you are from the beginning. That is the best advice I ever got from upper management that is Black. Because when you put on the whole jovial, hi, oh my gosh, when you put on that act in the interview and then you get the job and you know, you're just chilling like me, they do not take your work performance into account. They'll just start saying that you're not a cultural fit, aka you are not showing up in ways that perform to the standard of whiteness in the office. It's hard.
Being a Black woman means you need to be extra nice to be perceived as sufficiently pleasant. What I mean by this is that your lived experience looks like constantly considering everyone else's feelings in order to make everyone else feel comfortable, because the baseline of how they view you is one that is negative. So this means you never get to turn off and just be how you are. You never get to express your facial expressions the way you actually want to. You never get to speak in a tone of voice that is comfortable to you. If you do any of those things in a realm that is comfortable to you and doesn't consider the optics to everybody else, you risk getting ostracized, getting criticized, and often getting harmed in return. And this can manifest differently in your personal life as opposed to in your professional life, where it could actually impact your professional growth. It is really, really devastating, but it's the reality of being a Black woman. I guess you could say just being Black presenting in this world, or being a person of color. But I think Black women get the brunt of it. The worst part is Black women are looked to as some of the people that uplift society. The ones that are safe, the ones that are sheltered, the ones that are strong, the ones that show up for everybody else. But in our own lives, we don't get to show up for ourselves. Often, being that extra nice person requires us to betray ourselves in order to make other people feel comfortable. This can look like being sufficiently and rightfully so upset, but not being able to fully express that in fear that it might make the other party uncomfortable and it might put you in a more dangerous situation. This can look like being sufficiently so, needing to express a stern boundary, but not feeling like you can do it in the way that you want to, and having to exert extra time mentally and extra cognitive load to think of ways to do it in a friendly and helpful and pleasant manner. And it often means feeling like a caged animal that is viewed almost like a wild, like, what is she gonna do? What is she gonna say? As opposed to being viewed as a multifaceted, emotional being. It is very devastating to live in this body sometimes because of those things. And often I have ignored them because, to me, I just don't want to deal with the emotional weight of the way that race plays a factor in my existence. But some days it is hard to ignore, and one of those days was today. And I just thought I would come on here to reflect this to other people who don't have the same lived experience, that it is actually really, really hard. And if you know a Black woman, hug them, give them grace, and see them as a human being. Okay, bye.
There's this TikToker who was talking about the quiet girl in the workplace or in certain environment. I'm gonna tag her below just because it's just like I can't stitch her video, and I don't know why TikTok is not letting me stitch her video, but yeah. But basically she was explaining, like, when you're the quiet Black girl in an environment, you're looked upon as, like, well, from my experience, you're looked upon as, like, sneaky, the person who, you know, think that they're better than everybody else. People try to dissect or, like, try to, like, you know, try to investigate why you're so quiet. And I can relate to this a lot because I'm pretty much, like, if I don't know you, I'm pretty much the quiet person in the room, for real. I don't talk much. Or sometimes if I feel like that, because I'm a big empath, if I feel like your energy is off, yeah, I'm not going to speak. And sometimes I just don't feel like fucking talking. Sometimes I just don't want to converse with everybody. I just want to be alone, for real. Like, I just don't like talking half the times, honestly. And in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that, but everywhere I go, there's somebody has to find something wrong with that. And that shit is so fucking annoying. Y'all don't understand. And it gets frustrating because I have to force myself to talk in certain environments, like work. I literally have to force myself to talk to people because it's just like, oh, why you're so quiet? Oh, you haven't spoken all day. Why you so quiet? Is there something wrong? Is there something wrong? Is there something wrong? Why there gotta be something wrong? Why can't I just be alone? Like, I just don't want to talk. Like, I don't get it. And at work, since they realize that I'm so quiet, they will have the same exact conversation with me each and every fucking day. They see me going into the little break room, filling up my little canteen of water. Every day they ask me, oh, you know water can kill you. You know you can't drink too much water. You know water this, water... Like, bitch, shut the... Oh, my God. And it's like, you do not have to force a conversation with me. Like, I don't get it. And people that be doing that shit, I feel like y'all weird for that. Cause it's not that don't only happen to me at work. I realize people be forcing conversation with me because I don't talk. And they trying to search and look for a conversation to converse with me about so they could get to know me. But like, why force a conversation? Like, why? I don't understand that.
Guys, I'm so traumatized. Like, being a Black woman in a corporate space absolutely traumatized me. Like, I'm actually traumatized. Like, I just can't do it anymore. Already, everyone admits to having to play the game while at work, yeah. But as a Black woman, you're playing several games at the same time, and it's so frustrating. As a Black woman with anxiety, the amount of pressure you are under to mask, and I mask, but it doesn't matter, because when someone has a certain perception of you, your behavior towards them will not change that. Can you imagine, yeah? Can you imagine already having to tone police, right? You tone police, then you're masking your anxiety, right? You're tone policing, masking your anxiety. I wake up sometimes, my nervous system is a flipping mess. I wake up sometimes, I'm on high alert. I'm on fight or flight. Like, my adrenaline levels are insane. Like, I wake up sometimes and it's just really hard to function. And I am quite high functioning with my anxiety, right? But can you imagine having to do all that and mask and still be being told, yeah, that, oh, you know, your nervousness comes across a certain way to people. Are you joking? Black women actually do not have the luxury of having any other emotion that isn't positive being perceived as anything but aggressive or negative or da 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 da. Do you know how insane that is to have to now take into account how people perceive your anxiety and regulate it at the same time and play the game in a workplace? You are not responsible for other people's perceptions of you, especially in the workplace, especially being a black woman in the workplace. People already have a perception of you, like, and you're not responsible for that. But it is honestly traumatizing, and I am holding a deep anger being confronted with the reality that this is just what it is. This is what it is as a black woman working in a corporate space. This is just what you will go through, and this is making me want to opt out so bad. Like, I'm not on board. I say this because I hear and I see so many stories that mirror my own. Like, people saying the same things that I've been told. When people say to you, oh, you know, we can't really read you. Like, it's so frustrating to me because what are you trying to read? What are you trying to read? I've said what I mean and I mean what I say. Oh, you know, by your face sometimes, we don't know if you're on board. We don't know if you pissed you off. Mind you, you've sent, oh my God, amazing idea, like, and 3 exclamation marks in the Slack channel. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Because people have their perceptions of you, irrespective of what you show them. They're just looking for anything to match up to what they really think about you. There's just a deep, deep sadness in me. There's a deep sadness in me, and I feel sad and I feel sorry. You know, like, for the girlies who also, like me, you know, may have anxiety, who may have mental health problems, who may have ADHD, who may be autistic, neurodivergent. Like, I feel really sad for us. Not even in a pity way, but there's just something in me. Like, I'm mourning something, and it's just like, I think it might be the hope, and maybe it's naivety of me, like the hope that people would just seek to understand you, and you don't have to play these games, and who you are is enough in the workplace. But there's just politics around your whole existence, and that for me just feels so traumatizing, and I just don't really want to participate in it. I don't want to participate in it. Like, it's 8 hours every day for 5 times a week. I'm really sad about it. I'm sad for us as black women that in the workplace, it's just part and parcel of being in a capitalist society. We just have to perform.
As a black woman in corporate, I wish someone would have told me about 10 years ago that as soon as you feel like you're too smart for the role, to leave. Because what you end up doing is wrestling with yourself. And if you stay somewhere where you're too bored and you're just giving, what you'll tend to do is over give and over deliver, which will then position you to be stuck as a black woman in a corporate job in the same place, because people will come to expect you to do this job, but they never really visualize you at the next job because you're so amazing at this one that they'll keep you in that same spot. And this happened to me. People talk about making yourself indispensable. No, I would reframe that and say, make yourself approachable, relatable. You don't have to overwork. None of our counterparts are overworking. Look at Kamala, right? I think the difference between her and this election run and the last one is that people are learning more about her as a human being, because her accomplishments, they get her in the door. They don't allow people to build trust with her. In the same way, and as a corporate black woman from 10 years ago, I wish somebody would have told me that is way more value than staying up to 2 o'clock in the morning working on projects, because they don't care. They're not checking for you. So I hopefully this week, if I can offer you any advice for my girlies, as a black woman in the corporate space, stop overworking, build your connections, and build balance in your career, because that is going to propel you way further than working late night and taking up all the extra work. You have to learn to stop raising your hand, because some of that is us trying to prove our value because we've been conditioned to believe we don't have much. So stop trying to convince people. Just show up as yourself.
So this is all I got from this video, and I took my time to go through the comment because this is very relatable, especially when you work with some people, some kind of people. And it has happened to me because I am a teacher, and some of them I really don't understand how you expect somebody to smile every day. And I remember, like, when they approach me and ask me, "How are you?" and I tell them that I am good. Like every day, I tell them that I'm good. Like, what am I supposed to tell them that I am not good? And sincerely speaking, I'm actually good. There is nothing that is bothering or that was bothering me. So I remember them, like, saying someday that then when you ask them, "How are you?" they will tell you like this, like they will tell you like 50-50, or they will tell you like 30, whatever they want to say and all that. And I was like, "You'll be fine, move forward," because sometimes they want to hold conversation and probably you are not in the mood for the conversation, and you know how they already behave and all that. I mean, thank God that I started like, digging deep on like, some certain things concerning them. So when I am probably like, being serious or not even smiling and all that, you get questions like, "Is everything okay? Are you okay? Why are you not smiling?" I'm like, "I'm okay." Am I supposed to like, just continue to open my teeth all the time? I mean, that is fake. That is not real. Nobody is like, sometimes you are exhausted. Sometimes you have things running through your mind. Sometimes you are just like, on your own space, or you want to be your own, like, I just do not get it. So I know this about them. And some days like that, I mean, you wake up to hear, I mean, how do people, I don't understand them, but like they are really great. They are really amazing when they start being very shady, or when they start being shady. How do you like, go to report somebody? I mean, we did not have any problem, but you guys continue to report me to the HR for no just reason. And then you get called in, start being interrogated, and you find out that, I mean, some people came to report you, or they said that this happened, that other thing happened. Why did you not tell me? We just said hi to one another and you continue what you are doing. You did not tell me anything. Why do you have to tell HR, or look for maybe like my superior to tell them this? Like, I am not gonna lie to you, it is really exhausting. I remember my first job I quit because it was like every day. I mean, everyday story. To me, at some point I was like, wait, do they really understand what it means to be in an organization? Like, how do you have time to start looking for? Because all my life I never knew that people really do have time to, like, not mind their business, especially when it comes to work. Like, all they think about is focusing on someone, right? Focusing on someone's duty or facial expression, then look for a way to report you. So going through the comment section, this is very relatable. A lot of Black people have something to say. I mean, someone like, seriously, like, this is a no joke when it comes to work and all that. And sometimes you are not in the mood to start their discussion and all that. Once you go silent, you are not saying anything. They sometimes they sometimes want to bully you. Sometimes they don't come straight to do it. They go straight to probably HR, or look for a way to report you to someone that got higher authority or something. I mean, I don't know, but it's just something. And some people were like, "I lost my job because of this." But man, it is really hard for Black women or Black people being in a corporate, I mean, being a Black woman in being quiet in the workplace. Like, what do they expect? That you continue to like, no, you have to, like, be yourself, and that is it. Let me, some people are also not extrovert, right? Some people are introvert, some people are extrovert, right? So some people don't even like come out of their shell. They just want to do their job, and go out. Some, even the extrovert, sometimes just want to also need some space too to do whatever they have, that, be on their own and all that. But yeah, when you work with them, you really have to learn a lot, except you are dumb. If not, my goodness, let me share your experiences and let me know what you all think in the comment section, and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.